that I would like to share today is one from these 31 practices that come out in the mailing, 31 Days of Authentic Change. And this practice is about celebrating your resilience. You know, one of the things that really keeps us stuck and unable to take a step in the direction that we really want to go is the fear of making a mistake. When I work with clients on discovering their ideal careers, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard, but what if I make the wrong choice? They're really unhappy and miserable where they are, but that fear of choosing the wrong thing keeps them stuck in a place where they are unhappy and not really living an authentic life. They're doing something that doesn't fit for them. So let me answer that question. What if you do make the wrong choice? And I put the word wrong in quotes, because I don't believe that there are wrong choices. I believe that everything that we choose gives us information. And even if it doesn't create the outcome that we want, we get information from the choice that we've made. So it can tell you something about what you don't want to create by making the wrong choice. It can tell you what doesn't work. And that adds to the store of information that you have about how you can be more successful at creating what you want, and then you can make a different choice for your next step. So there really is no wrong choice. The only wrong choice in my view is no choice, where you just stay stuck where you are. And this is what's called resiliency. It's not allowing yourself to be stopped in your tracks and dragged down by making a mistake, and looking at what you can learn from that choice rather than beating yourself up for making the choice in the first place. Webster's dictionary defines resilience as the ability to become strong, healthy, or successful again after something bad happens. And I'd amend this by changing the word bad to unexpected or undesirable. So the ability to become strong, healthy, or successful again after something unexpected happens or after something undesirable happens. And the reason I changed that is, again, I don't like words like wrong and right, good and bad, because I don't think that there is that black and white. I think there's lots of shades of gray. So how can you celebrate your resilience? Because we all have it. Spend 15 minutes celebrating your resilience. That's the practice that goes with this particular tool in the 31 Days of Authentic Change Wisdom. And the way that you can do this is by sitting down with your journal or another piece of paper or notebook and review times in your life where you feel like you've made a mistake or things haven't gone as you would have wished them to go, and record how you recovered from that situation. And part of the value of looking at how you recovered is reminding yourself that you are okay. You know, you weren't devastated by it. You weren't unable to continue living your life. You did recover from it. Also write down what you learned from that experience, because the only mistake is not learning from something that doesn't work. So write down what you learned, and then how did you use that information or that wisdom, because it is wisdom to learn from your mistakes, going forward. And finally, give yourself a pat on the back for your resilience and appreciate how that experience has given you evidence that you'll be okay no matter what happens, because you will. And I just want to share a real quick story about resilience and how it's related to perfectionism, because perfectionism is that piece that keeps us stuck because we think we might make a mistake. We're afraid we won't do it perfectly or we'll make the wrong choice. And, you know, I was working with a client several years ago, and actually this person is still a client of mine, and she, at that time, was really a hardcore perfectionist. And I could really relate to that because I consider myself a recovering perfectionist. And she was very hard on herself. And that created a whole lot of anxiety in her life. And when I suggested that she focus on being resilient rather than trying to plan everything so it turned out perfectly, her response was, I don't want to have to be resilient, because she didn't want anything to ever go wrong. And even at the time, we both laughed at it when she made that statement, because she could realize that that wasn't reality, that things are going to go wrong. You You are going to make mistakes. We all do. And now a couple of years later, she is one of the most resilient people I know. I love that she was able to laugh at how committed she was to her perfectionism and then gradually shift to having a focus on resilience instead. She's much less anxious and a lot happier as a result. So today, celebrate your resilience and really recognize it for the value that it has in your life.